Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to Today in Bitcoin. Today is November the 1st, 2017. Buy and hold. Strong hand. All right, in Israel, it's nighttime. I woke up to watch the World Series game, which I found on TV here, amazingly enough. All right. Well, Bitcoin's been doing real well today, hasn't it? So the first thing I want to jump into is, for the last few days, people have been talking about this CME Group futures and how this is big news for Bitcoin. So here's a tweet. For crypto kids confused on why CME is a big deal, this is how the money on the sidelines you've heard about for years starts to enter. All right. So yes, obviously this is part of the pump of the price of Bitcoin. People are excited about this. And yes, this is the beginning of the institutional money pouring in that Brian Kelly talked about, that we've all been talking about for quite some time. So, I am happy about this, but at the same time, holders like me, people who have long-term thinking, we knew this was going to happen eventually, whether it be in 2017, 2018, 2019. We knew it would probably be before 2020. So it's jumping up close to $6,900 now. And I mean, it's great. It's always a good feeling. But don't go too crazy here. If you really believe in Bitcoin, you knew this was going to happen. I mean, Brian Kelly just brought it up on this very show that the sideline money, the institutional money, whatever you want to call it. If you own Bitcoin, you knew that's why you bought Bitcoin, because you wanted to get in early before all these other institutions got in, all before the mainstream got in, and we're still there. We're still there. So don't try to flip it now or play games with it. You've always been thinking 2020. You don't care when it happens, when all this good stuff starts to happen. You know it's going to happen. Maybe some of it's not going to happen until 2024. All right, whatever. You're a holder. Be cool. And also, some of this might be people buying up Bitcoin, to get their free 2x crypto dividend altcoin, because it is nothing but an altcoin. It might be, if they don't have replay protection, there's going to be some issues. And speaking of those issues, again, Bitcoin's approaching $7,000. Great. But you better believe there's going to be prepared for a drop in the middle of November when this 2x stuff starts because people are still fudding with it. And so but again, you're thinking 2020 here. So it could drop. I would not be shocked if it drops down to $5,000 again. What's the problem if it does? Who cares? You're thinking 2020 anyway, right? So it's just psychological. You have to control the psychological aspects of this stuff. Can't go too wild. And of course, be happy that it's doing well. And I'm going to get into some other reasons why when it's doing well. I mean, you can spread the word a lot better when it's doing well. We're gonna talk about that. So again, have a strong hand, because it's hard to have a strong hand during the pumps, as I said on yesterday's show. Do check out the link section below for yesterday's show and all my other shows, and pound that like button, people, and remember to subscribe to this channel. All right, here is another tweet, and the tweets are linked, and this is very interesting. Tour de Meester retweeted this, I think. Anyway, interesting statistic in case you guys missed it. Major offshore sportsbook bookmaker.eu revealed that more than 90% of the website's customers use Bitcoin to fund their accounts. Wow. I mean, that Bitcoin's big in offshore gambling. I mean, that is a use case right there. So for all you people that say it's not used for anything, dude, it might take over gambling one day. Just another bullish thing. But again, if that day is today, or if that day is in 2019 or 2021, be patient and don't gamble. By the way, gambling is terrible. If people who are into that thing want to use Bitcoin, then you know what? You're making us wealthier, but you're not making yourself wealthier, because gambling is a loser's game. All right. So the B Gold, again, it's not live yet, people. It's not live on the main net. Just wanted to remind you, but they do have a new Reddit that is out there, and I linked to that Reddit below. So 4 p.m., it looks like 4 p.m. Eastern time on Friday, This Week in Bitcoin on this very channel. Richard Hart will be one of the guests. I'll try to update everyone on Thursday about when, if things change about Friday. Also, I'm going to be on Andy Hoffman's show tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern time in the afternoon. CryptoGoldCentral.com is Andy Hoffman. And that's always fun. And I'll also have my show sometime tomorrow. So you'll see me twice if you're a fan of Andy's and a fan of mine. And of course, yeah, CryptoGoldCentral.com is his site. And I'll be on his YouTube site. You'll be able to see it on both. But sign up for his CryptoGoldCentral.com. People have been commenting about that in my comments section. All right, SEC released a statement about the potentially unlawful promotion of ICOs by celebrities. The SEC is paying attention to this ICO thing. Again, I'm thinking it's jumping the shark soon because I'm getting contacted by ICO people who want to be on my show, like many of them every day. But Ethereum still has a lot of potential. It doesn't have to just be an ICO. There are other things you can do with these tokens that doesn't involve ICOs. So again, I said it on yesterday's show, there is potential with Ethereum, I believe. If maybe in a regulated ICO market too. The ICOs are probably going to have to become regulated in the United States. I'm not a fan of regulation. I'm just bringing all this up. But people are going to complain when they got tricked into buying an ICO by some celebrity, and the government always overreacts. Some senator from wherever will want to, increase his name out there in the national scene, so he'll jump on that, and he won't even understand cryptocurrencies. None of them understand cryptocurrencies out there, and that's something I'm going to discuss in the future, maybe tomorrow. All right, my buddy in Korea reminds me that, all right, on the 4th of December is the day I will be at the Bitcoin Center in Korea. 4th of December, that is in Seoul. Bitcoin. I linked to the Bitcoin Center below. And we're going to talk about Korea in a second. Again, I'm skipping around. So yesterday when I arrived at my place here in Beersheba, I had been in Tel Aviv. Now I'm in Beersheba. I had stayed at this place before at this lovely Airbnb, and I met the guy who owned it this time. He was just straightening things up before I came in. And he asked me about what I did, and I mentioned Bitcoin. And all of a sudden, we get into this long Bitcoin discussion. He puts me on the phone with his friend in Tel Aviv who owns some Bitcoin, and how his friend tried to convince him to buy Bitcoin a while ago. He still hasn't bought Bitcoin. He has some extra dollars around. The dollars, or he has some extra shekels around, and he's not confident in the shekel. It loses value against the dollar. And so we got into this long discussion. And it was great. And I'm talking, his friend wants to, maybe his friend is watching now too. Maybe he's watching it. Well, it's late at night, early in the morning now. I doubt they're awake. But the point is that, instead of talking about the weather with strangers, or instead of talking about the NFL with strangers, these guys wouldn't talk about the NFL or soccer, bring up Bitcoin. It's worth it. It's more productive. Bring up Bitcoin to as many people as possible. And he was saying to me, oh, is it too late? I feel like I missed out. And he's like, if I buy it, when should I sell it? I said, no. If you're going to buy it, it is savings. It is savings. You haven't missed out. It's $6,500 right now. I know that seems like now it's $69. And look how quick things change. Anyway, these are the type of conversations you should get into with people, with strangers. Don't talk about the weather. Talk about the Bitcoin. I hate talking about the weather with, but the thing is, and I don't really like talking to strangers like on buses either. If people are going to start talking to you, and they start talking about the weather, change it to Bitcoin, okay? But if you're one of those people who just loves to talk to every single person you see, bring up Bitcoin. And everyone's got a different personality. But bringing up Bitcoin is a good thing because people do get excited about it, and you get some insight. It's fun if you're a Bitcoin fan like I am. All right. So going back, well, here's a question someone asked me over Twitter. Have you ever been burned by a HYIP, which is a high yield investment program? And I said, no. Are you familiar with my shows? Like, I tell people long-term thinking, don't get scammed. And I know I sound like frustrated. It's a little frustrating when you get asked this questions, but at the same time, I guess I'm helping by bringing this up. Never get into these high yield investment programs. They're totally insane. They're scams. If it seems too good to be true, it is. It says Bitcoin, savings, learn it again. It's a lost art. Everyone is into these get rich quick schemes. High yield investment. Oh my God, the nonsense. If you want to become wealthy, there's no quick answer to it. Okay, you got to plan ahead and just get into things that don't seem that promising. And people are like, well, Adam, you did pretty well with the Bitcoin in a short time. Dude, I was buying it when everyone was saying, oh, it crashed from 1,200 to 200. It's over. It's over. It was a scam. It's tulips. It's this. It's that. It's the other. Yeah, I was definitely going against the grain. And you can watch all my old videos in the link section, in my archives when I was saying to buy 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. And now it's almost 7,000. My God. So, it didn't seem too good to be true back then. I will tell you that. And there were many people, this whole scene has changed a lot in the last 6 months where everyone's pro Bitcoin now. But again, there is no you just got to have a long-term plan, buy and hold, and don't panic, because there were plenty of times to panic along the way too. Plenty of times to panic. Just in March, a lot of people panicked. And so doing well for yourself, creating wealth, there are no super duper easy answers. It's hard to hold. It's hard to save. It's hard not to panic. It's hard not to go with the crowd it's hard not to do something with your Bitcoin, but do nothing with your Bitcoin. Just hold it. It's that's what you should be doing, people. That part, for me, that's easy. For most people, for 80% of you, it's very hard. You'd rather get into these high yield investment programs. And anyway, again, follow me at TechBalt on Twitter, TechBalt. That has been crazy lately. So yeah, in Korea, again, South Korea, clearly part of this Bcash pump that's going on is the volume in Korea is unbelievable. Okay, if you look at the Bcash chart, you'll see like most of it is coming from South Korea. And if you look at the BitThumb exchange in South Korea, most of it is now in Bcash. So something's going on in South Korea. I can't wait to see. I am going to be there. I mean, in a month, I am going to be in Seoul. I'm going to report to you guys on what's really going on. Again, I've mentioned South Korea many times on the show. My contact there is great. I haven't asked him about Bcash lately, but I'm going to see it firsthand. Now, Bcash is also going to pump because of all the 2x FUD that we're going to experience in the middle of November. And all the Bcash people are going to say, oh, be scared of all this replay protection. We don't have to deal with that. Although they're going to have their own fork, maybe there'll be a second Bcash. That would be great if there's a second Bcash, by the way. I think that would be great. The more, the merrier. And they would become more legitimate. They would become more legitimate having their own crypto dividend come from them. I mean, I consider a coin to be more legitimate if people are willing to form a crypto dividend from it. So, and you know what, Bcash, love it or hate it, it's more legitimate than something like Ripple. I mean, it's Bitcoin. It's a form of Bitcoin. Now, it was an unfriendly fork, but it's out there. Whatever. Remember, I don't tell you to buy that stuff, but I'm just telling you what's about to happen in our ecosystem here. Bitcoin is going to drop in price most likely because of all the 2x FUD, and Bcash will be further pumped by because there is a Bcash community out there in Asia, in the United States, in wherever. It's going to get pumped, but then it'll probably be dumped again. So, but yeah, the Koreans are obviously getting into it, and they don't see it the same way as people in our little bubble here see it. I've covered this before, but why not mention it again? Okay, here. Alistair Milne has a great tweet, and you should follow Alistair Milne. He's got a lot of great tweets, actually. Coinbase users signups have accelerated again to 50,000 a day, or 1.5 million per month. And that's data from the last 4 days. So it's not just the institutional money that's pouring in here. There are regular people who have a fear of missing out. They're pouring into it right now. As the price gets higher, they hear more about it. They want to get in. They think like they just want to get in on it. But again, when it drops down to 5,000, they'll be the ones complaining and stuff. But we'll be the ones with the strong freaking hands. Hey, and I'll be the happiest guy in the world if it doesn't drop to 5,000. And then I won't have to deal with all the panic, because even despite all my warnings, I know I'm going to get a lot of people saying, oh, the 2X has ruined everything. It's over. Oh, my God. So I really don't want it to drop to 5,000, but I fully expect it to. So, and again, why does it matter to me? I'm not selling any of it until after the halving in 2020. And I'm probably not going to sell any of it then anyway, because I'm such a strong freaking hand. I'll be talking about 2024 halving by the time 2019 comes around. Anyway, but there is a lesson from yesterday I want to point out again, just in case you didn't get it. I was talking about don't buy a house right now with your Bitcoin. Don't do anything with your Bitcoin. Use your fiat and rent. You can get a really good house. But don't end up with 0 Bitcoin and a mortgage in 2020 when you could have more than 32 Bitcoin worth, and when you could have 32 Bitcoins now and have it worth a lot more in 2020. So don't give up. If you have, and I'm saying 32 Bitcoin because maybe that's how much it costs to buy a house right now. If you're one of the people who happens to have that, or happens to have an amount where you can sell it and then have a big mortgage, keep your Bitcoin, and you're going to have that same amount of Bitcoin in 2020. It's going to be worth a lot more than it is today. And then maybe you can buy a house or something. Just like, and again, maybe a Bitcoin then, who knows? Maybe it'll be worth a house. I don't know, maybe worth a car. So, obviously there'll be things I'm going to have to take care of in my life in 2020. So yeah, maybe I'll get rid of 1 or 2 of them. I don't know. I haven't thought it out. I am such a strong hand. I don't even know what I would use to buy Bitcoin with in 2020. I don't know what. I'm just such a strong hand presently. I can't imagine giving up any of my Bitcoin. But life will. Who knows? Who knows? Life will be a lot different in 2020. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, but never rush life. That's another lesson. It goes by really fast. I feel like I was just in college. I feel like I was just partying at the auto bar in Baltimore with all my buddies and everything. Some of the guys are married now or have kids. So life goes by real fast. So don't rush 2020. Have a strong hand now. Enjoy. I mean, I'm just living off of my meager cash holdings. You got to have a frugal lifestyle. That's why you got to learn about these different types of lifestyles. That's why you can't be tempted by all this crazy hyper consumerism. All right. Well, I'm actually going to go back to the national pastime. I want to see who wins the World Series. Pound that like button. Yeah, that's my one vice, baseball, the Orioles, go Orioles. We all have our little vices. All right, I'm Adam Meister, Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. Do check out the notes section below. I'll say hi to you in the chat and watch the ball game. Bye.